Your turn.
Yeah, Melanie.
I'm going to stand right beside Trump. Make it look like I really know him. I'm the only one up here without a sign. I'm sorry. But I wanted to tell you two things tonight. Most of you have heard me speak before. Years ago, James Dobson, Dr. James Dobson, who is a child psychologist, wrote a foreword in a book, and he said, modern research bears out what the culture wants to hear. Boy, has that come true. It is true then, and it's definitely true today, which we have seen through the pandemic. The second thing I want to say to you is why I'm in this race. I had a friend who has 2 children in the public schools, and one day she went to pick up her son, and he got in the car, and he had a pained look on his face. And she said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I feel sick." She said, "Do I need to pull over?" He goes, No, it's not that kind of sick." And she said, "Well, what happened?" And he pulls a piece of paper out of his backpack, and he hands it to her. And she's driving, and she's looking at this, and she's kind of going like, "What?" And he said, "Mom, do people really do that to each other?" That mother was shocked because this mother had opted out of all the sex education in the schools, and yet her son still received this in a class. And so she went home and she called the principal and she said, "What gives? I opted out of all of this." And he said, "Well, that wasn't in the class. That was in another class." So do you understand what we're up against? When we have teachers, and the enemy was very wise. He captured the education system in our universities, and he trained the workers to come back down into our school system. So that is where they've nailed both ends of the spectrum. Either we stop hiring teachers out of these liberal schools, because there's no way they're not going to have this stuff just eking out of their pores, because they've been indoctrinated all through their educational experience. So my point is that I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to do a backroom deal. I was reminded today that Jesus said, if they hated me, they're going to hate you. That's what we're in for.
We love you.
I know that we have not earned a seat at the table with friends. We have earned a position on the front lines, and we're basically cannon fodder. They're coming after us. So we definitely do need your prayers. We need your accountability is more than a word. It is holding people's feet to the fire. It is coming to those school board meetings and calling people out when they have not done their job. And I just want to say, I know there's some legislators in the room, but I'm going to call you out, because a parent's rights don't end at 5th grade.
That's right.
We have legislators that pat themselves on the back for having moved the needle. We don't need a needle moved. We need a sledgehammer.
There you go.
That's what we need. And so I'm going to call shame on you. Shame on you if you think you did a good job passing that Parents' Rights Act, because you did not go near it far enough when you had the majority and the power behind you to do it. So I'm going to call shame on them. I'm going to call shame on the people who passed an abortion bill that didn't take care of most of the abortions and that patted themselves on the back for it. I'm sorry. If you call yourself a Christian, I don't understand. God doesn't make compromises. God doesn't see one life more valuable than another. And I just don't see how you can go up there and make these, and they are backroom deals. They're in the caucuses, and we need to get these people out from behind those backroom deals, and we need to expose them. And I'm just gonna be another one of those people. I told people, I'm not a fighter, but I am a defender. And you come after the defenseless, and I'm coming after you.